Zepbound news. Who is more likely to lose weight on tirzepatide weight loss? Hi, friends. I'm Elizabeth, Countess of Shopping. And on today's episode, we're going to talk about tirzepatide weight loss, Zepbound weight loss, Mounjaro weight loss. I personally have been on GLP-1 medication the last 21 plus months, losing over 93 pounds. Super, super excited on today's episode to dive into some data. The article in which I'm going to be referencing will be linked down below in the description, as will all the information I'm talking about today. Let's roll up our sleeves and learn. I was fascinated. When the Count sent me this article, I was nerding out. I'm like, who is it? Who is more likely to lose? Hopefully it's something that I can fall into one of those buckets. So let's go into it. There was new analysis from Surmount clinical trials that reveal that the medicine tirzepatide administered once weekly injection leads to a significant weight reduction. Hello, yes, please. From my own experience, strength, and hope, I have encountered that as well. And across all doses and trials, and we're going to go into some of the nitty gritties of the trials because it's really interesting. If you are a data nerd, this is fascinating. Women lost up to, do you think men or women lost more? It's actually women. Women lost up to 24.6% of their body weight compared to 18.1% of men, indicating a potential sex-based difference with regard to drug response with tirzepatide. Well, bust my buttons. Women finally have something. Usually men are so far ahead of women for weight loss. It is so dang exciting to see these results. So I was super curious. I wanted to pull out my calculator because we're nerding out, and then I'm going to go back over to the data. It was 24.6%. Say someone starts off on the drug at 300 pounds. That is losing 73.8 pounds, for example, for the time period in which they're doing. And so that's 70.8. That is what, around approximately off the top of my head, like 220-ish, 25-ish, 20, what is that, 20? Oh, I wish I had done the math before, 226-ish pounds from that, for a woman who was starting at 300 pounds versus men, which was 18.1% off of that. So the percentages, it's fascinating, or if someone's starting at 200 pounds or whatever, it's interesting to go break through. And I would encourage you for your particular weight loss, the 24.6% of their body weight versus 18.1% if you're a man, like where are you falling on your weight loss journey? I've been super curious in the Countess of Shopping community. I'm like, I feel like the Countess of Shopping community, we have a lot of turtles and we're still kicking booty. High five on that. We're still kicking booty and still uniting on this. It goes on to talk about obesity. It's a chronic health condition, which, hello, we know, affecting over 650 million adults. Now, I don't know about you, but I know I've been fat since I was like pockets of where I've like gained a ton of weight, lost a ton of weight, gained a ton of weight. Like that's my story. And so it's fascinating to me that there's 650 million other people who are like me, who are obese. And I'm still technically, I'm not obese anymore. Woo! I'm considered overweight. I was morbidly obese when I started. And gratefully now I'm just simply overweight, excited to get to out of the overweight category. But this study on which they're talking about GIP. It's so there's GLP-1, and then there's specific hormones, and then there's another hormone, GIP. It plays a role in controlling weight and combination of treatments that targets both GIP and GLP-1. By the way, my article source is Medical News Today. Please forgive me. I should have mentioned that at the beginning of the video. I like their news sources because they're also fact checked. And so it's like an extra layer of insurance. And I know, like in this day and age of getting factually accurate information that is reliable, to me is very important. And so going through this thing, it says, for example, Surmount-1 SM1 trial looked at how well tirzepatide works for weight loss in people with obesity or overweight who do not have diabetes, with to further explore potential differences of how men and women respond to the treatment. And so they did post hoc analysis of Surmount program, which is included in 4 clinical trials, SM1 to SM4. So their analysis shows that the weekly injection of tirzepatide results in substantial weight loss for both men and women. Women experienced greater results in weight. Their findings were presented at the annual meeting of European Association for the Study of Diabetes, EASD in Madrid. It's September 9th through the 13th of 2024. And they compared tirzepatide to a placebo of 72 to 88 weeks in 4,000. Y'all, that's a long time, by the way. A year is 52 weeks. So that's over a year with 4,677 adults. it was 2,999 women and 1,678 men who had obesity. And so the impact on this is really, really interesting. They did different like lead-ins to it. Like, for example, there was a 12-week for one of them, the SM3 had a 12-week lead-in of intensive lifestyle changes, which is kind of where I feel like I am right now. Of the medication has gone as far as it can go. And make sure you click that like and subscribe button. I'm going to talk about a doctor who I really, really respect on an upcoming episode about how you can go as far as you can go with the medication. She was talking about this, of how you can go as far as you can go with it, and it feels like you're regressing, but you're actually not. And that's kind of where I am right now. That's where I am right now, is I feel like I am regressing, but I'm not regressing. Like, I'm not gaining weight, but I'm also, I'll talk about that in the next episode. But so I found this interesting, the lead in for lifestyle changes, which we need to be making for people who are on Tirzepatide. Eli Lilly, for the manufacturer of Zepbound and Mounjaro, tell us that, to make food and physical activity lifestyle changes. The SM4 had 36-week lead-in with open label tripeptide treatment. So there's like different lead-ins to when they started actually taking the medication. Hence like the 88, like that, hence the reason for that. In this analysis, body weight changes were evaluated in participants. They received at least one dose of Tirzepatide, 5 milligrams, 10 milligrams, 15 milligrams, or straight up the placebo, which in these studies, y'all, can you just imagine being like, oh, like for the people who are on retatrutide right now in the clinical trials, I pray for them every night. I'm like praying, I'm like, dear Lord, please let it go well. I want that medication so badly. But I'm like, you know how upset I would be if I was in that clinical trial and I was getting the flippin' placebo? You know how upset I'd be? I'd be like, oh my God, I had the opportunity to have retatrutide and I'm getting the daggone placebo. So anyways, my heart goes out to the people who are getting the placebo. You're like, yes, I'm in this amazing thing and I'm getting the placebo. So across the 4 trials, women made up, and there's the 4 different ones, and they're the SM1, SM2, SM3, SM4. They made up, women were 51% to 71% of those. And so women, the average weight of women participants was 99.8 kilograms compared to men, which was 115.2 kilograms. Okay, so for men. So how much is a kilogram to a pound? How much is a kilogram, 99.8 kilograms in pounds?
99.8
220 pounds.
kilograms is equal to 2.
Okay, thank you. Okay, she's still talking. Stop talking. Okay, so 220 pounds for women. Both men and women, they had similar body BMI. Okay, so they had on here, and this is the cool part about it, is like, I just find this fascinating. Do you guys find this so fascinating? I'm nerding out over this article, and and I'll stop reading it, but I'm nerding out over the article because usually women in weight loss get the short end of the stick. Anyone else doing this with their partner and they're like, why is my partner, usually when I do weight loss with like my husband previously, he would lose like 10 million pounds and I'd be like, I lost an ounce. Have you guys ever had that where you're like, why is my partner losing substantially more than me? Or like if you're like, for men and women going head to head with weight loss, it is frustrating how quickly men can drop weight. And you're like, I ate like a cookie and I gained 10 pounds. And so it's interesting to me. I'm like, why? That's my next question. And I think that this article goes on to later talk about, the article later goes on to talking about findings could lead to more personalized treatment plans, which by the way is amazing. And that's really, really helpful. And I think that that's where the article ends. That they're looking at this is to, and for men, I feel badly for you because I do know we have a lot of counts in the viewers. So thank you, counts. I love you guys. If you're tuning in, I love you guys just as much as I love the ladies. All the ladies, but finally we get some redemption here. But it's interesting to me as to why is that? Why is that? Why is it not even Steven, right? So anyways, I found this article completely fascinating. One of the things that they talked in here too that I'm going to loop back to is side effects. But for me, one of the best side effect things that I have had is LMNT electrolytes. If you are just starting with GLP-1 medication, if you're on WEGOVY or semaglutide or Tirzepatide or Mounjaro or Zepbound, for me, the best purchase I made 21 months ago was buying LMNT electrolytes. I'm like, I'm going to try these electrolytes because FBI snipers, for example, use them. Major athletes, people who I really, really, really respect in the science industry and who are data-based, take LMNT. And they say that it's the best. And I bought it, tried it, loved it. And it helped me so much, the electrolytes that have magnesium, potassium, and sodium with side effects. And so that was one of the things that in this article talking about side effects, was for me, I tested for myself. I was my own little guinea pig of testing with and without each week over the last, how many, what is that? 21 months times 4 weeks is, what is that? Over 80 plus weeks of testing out my different side effects. Element electrolytes, hands down for me, made my side effects less gastrointestinal, diarrhea, constipation, nausea, less muscle cramps, less fatigue, less of a lot, which is why I take Element electrolytes on day 0, 1, and 2, 100% hands down. Today, for example, I walked 6 miles. My legs were burning. You know what your sweet girl was so excited to have? My favorite is the Element Electrolyte Sparkling Electrolyte Water. They're cans. If you have not tried the cans, you need to. They're so, I love them for car pickup line when I'm on the go. I do also use the sticks in 40-ounce tumblers. I like to mix it with more water, but that's the cool part about it is you stay salty, honey. If you want more water, less water, you can really customize it to what you enjoy. But their flavors are delicious, and for me, it has made a big difference now. So it started for side effects, and now it has evolved to, A, I'm just trying to get my water in, and it helps me with get my water in. B, it's also really helped me with the muscle recovery after working out so much. 6-mile walk. Tomorrow I've started the Jennifer Aniston, it's called Pavolve. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that properly. And so weightlifting, and I'm doing Pilates. It has been so helpful. Element has been so helpful with that muscle recovery. So, and they have a ton of different flavors. So my favorite is the raspberry salt. Yesterday, the Duke had a big soccer game. It was super hot here. We give him electrolytes, Element electrolytes before soccer games because he gets really bad muscle cramps. Guess who didn't get muscle cramps yesterday? The Duke. The Duke, if he does not take Element electrolytes, he gets muscle cramps after his soccer games. And I love it that much because there's no dye, no junk. It's like, you know how sometimes you get things and you're like, oh my God, it's like bright red and my kid's lips are bright red. It's normal, regular colors. But it has magnesium, potassium, sodium in there. And if you're worried about high blood pressure on Element electrolytes, because some of you guys have asked me, like, that's so much sodium. We actually do need sodium. We do need sodium as human beings. If you're worried about blood pressure, there's a great article on an Element Electrolytes website talking about how magnesium and potassium negate the effects of like blood pressure issues with that too. So obviously, whenever I talk about supplements, talk to your own doctor, healthcare provider. This is simply my experience, strength, and hope, never medical advice, but it has made a big difference for my health journey. And we're going to talk about the side effects too from that article, but go to drinkelement.com/queen, QUEEN, and you can go ahead and get its 8 free sticks with any purchase. Any purchase. These are what the sticks look like. They're awesome. We are soon getting into like coffee season, tea season, hot drink season. They also have, and so many of you guys have talked about this in my free encouragement group. I'm freaking out about putting in your proffies, so it's protein coffee, the chocolate Element electrolytes. I'm doing it tomorrow. Literally today, I already had mine because I wanted my cold beverage after like walking so much. Anyways, tomorrow I'm doing that. So we're like going into pumpkin spice latte season, which if you guys have not seen my recipe, I'm very excited to add the Element electrolytes for like hot beverages. You can put them in tea, coffee. I typically put mine in coffee. And for those, usually I'll use like a half of a stick on those. And then I'll just save the other half stick for the next day. Or like the next grouping I do. It is so good. But go to drinkelement.com. Also, the hyperlink will be down, like the direct clickable link down in the description link below to go ahead and get these. Now, going back to this fabulous article, I was talking about how the main ones here, and I was super interested in this. I wanted to like raise my hand for the article and be like, I have questions. So they talk about the main side effects in this. Let me go ahead and pull it up real fast. Hold on. I was talking about side effects. And the biggest thing in there they were talking about was like standard traditional side effects, like gastrointestinal, which we know is totally normal. Diarrhea, constipation, nausea. And so, by the way, Element electrolyte, because of the magnesium, so helpful for constipation and also so helpful for diarrhea if you're expelling a lot. Again, like I said, it's so helpful for side effects. But they were saying about how it was like basically nominal. Now, we had seen other stories about how so many people drop off of taking GLP-1 medications because of side effects. My firm belief, by the way, from that particular study is they were titrating up people too quickly, which is why I'm like low and slow wins the race for me. And my video that I just came out was talking a lot about how long I was on each dose. I was basically up to, did I keep it over here? Yeah, I was on, for 6 months, I was up to 10 milligrams of Zepbound and 10 milligrams of Mounjaro. I was on both. For people who don't know, I was on both. I switched because of the Mounjaro shortage, and because of the Zepbound shortage was on Tirzepatide compounds. And now I'm back over to Zepbound. So anyways, I probably would have been on that. I don't recommend that, by the way. For me, if I could go back at 6 months, I would have loved to have stayed on like 5 milligrams or 7.5 milligrams because now I'm at the highest dose and I'm having what happened that this doctor had explained, which I'll do a whole other video on, but I don't really have as much appetite suppression. I'm really trying hard to lose weight. And to be fair, also on that, I'll do a whole other video. I was on vacation with my hot husband. I've been on a lot of trips. I've been traveling a ton. And so my hope is, and that's why I want you to join me, is over the next 5 weeks before, what is it, 5 weeks or 6 weeks? 6 weeks before Halloween is to really bank some weight loss. Because then it becomes Halloween. I got a kid, so I got candy at my house. And then that will be fine for me for the most part, but still, I eat some of the candy. And then we're going to be rolling into the holiday season. And so for me, I'm like, now is the time. Now is the time to really put the pedal to the metal. And so this article really inspired me. I hope it inspires you too. I hope that it really inspires you too to move forward. And I'm also super grateful that for the percentage of women have lost, I've lost more than that. I'm super grateful for that. And so that is also me working as hard as I possibly can on changing lifestyle changes. Because this isn't just about, and I know we hear it all the time in the GLP-1 community, it's a quick fix, it's a quick way out. No, it's not. Like I plan to be on this medication with the information I have right now. I'll be on GLP-1 medication probably the rest of my life. And I was talking to my husband, I'm like, with this new study coming out, also this other doctor study that I'll be talking about, it was from one of the Surmount studies, that like I'm stuck. And so it's so frustrating to feel like I'm stuck. I feel like I'm a turtle on my back. And my husband reminded me, and this is why I appreciate. And so I want to remind you if you're in this place of feeling somewhat stuck. One, things I can control and things I can't, and the wisdom to know the difference. And so I went on a ton of trips, in particular the last 4 weeks for me. If you are my free encouragement group, I have been traveling. And so me literally in a hotel room at 11 o'clock at night with my mouth guard in, trying to do like group stuff. That is the level in which I care about that group so much that I will do it while it's like, I woke up early on these trips and vacations as to not disturb my hot husband and my kid to do my free encouragement group because I care about it that much. And that is also linked in the description link below. But I am working so hard, and I know so many of you are too, on making these permanent lifestyle changes. And I think that is as good as it can get. It's kind of where my husband and I were talking about. And I was like, well, people have suggested that I go off of the medication and go back on. And he said, and I completely agree, my husband is a truth teller. He said, even if it hurts my feelings sometimes, he's like, you gain all the weight back. And I think I honestly would, which is why I'm so committed to this. I'm so committed to it. And so I hope you are committed too, because I know it's astronomical how many people stop taking GLP-1 medication because of the side effects. And because I think it's because of the side effects, but also because of the access now, because of the shortage. Go check out my video it was either a couple days ago or yesterday that was talking about where the secret stash of medication is, of where you can from like a reputable pharmacy. I give you the whole tea on every single one in the US based pharmacies. I'm super curious about UK pharmacies and our Aussie friends for pharmacies. But anyways, going back to this article, more research is needed on this, of course, because we're like, if you're taking this medication, I don't know about you, but I am so incredibly grateful that we have this opportunity. We're at the very beginning of all of this. Like we haven't even hit GLP-1 2.0. Like we're at the very beginning of this. And when I started 21 months ago, You know how much flack I got from people being like, doctors who I respect, doctors who I used to interview on this channel, bashing GLP-1 medication. I'm super curious too, by the way, if all the people who bash GLP-1 medication now, if they like take it back or if they still are like doubling down on, I'm like, you can't double down on that it's 20% reduction of strokes, cardiovascular events. You can't double down on that it's helping so many people with sleep apnea and that like it's, you can't double like all these other side effects, how it's getting tested for Parkinson's disease and Alzheimer's and cancers. You can't double down on that. I do ask a kind favor. Tomorrow I go for my mammogram, my follow-up mammogram. If you saw that episode a few weeks back, I have not had my follow-up mammogram, and so I have that tomorrow. So if you can, I don't know how the sequence of this video coming out is in terms of the content calendar of when you'll see this, but tomorrow I'm going. So if you could say, if you're a prayer person, great. If you're not a prayer person, if you could uplift me in positive thoughts, I would greatly appreciate it. Or just take a moment of like, go friend, go. I would appreciate it. I'm nervous, but I'm not nervous because so many of you have told me how common it is to have false positive mammograms. So if that was one of you, I appreciate you more than words can express. I'll do an update separately on that too. So, which is why you want to click like and subscribe. Make sure you go ahead down in the description link below to get the 8 free sticks with any order on LMNT electrolytes. drinkelement.com/queen. Our question of the day, what are you doing today to move you closer to your goals? For me, my answer is, I'm typing it in the comments. I walked 6 miles today and my legs are burning. And then 2, our emoji of the day. Yeah, I did this the other day, but it made me so happy. Was our emoji of the day the other day was mushrooms. So today, and I love seeing all the mushrooms in the comments. So we're doing that again today. The emoji of the day is a mushroom. And people are like, why do you do emoji of the day? It helps me to get to know you better because I truly do care. Seeing your name over and over and over again, between that and the free encouragement group, I will know you. There's thousands of you, there's one of me, and it's an easy tool for me to have that pattern recognition to remember people's names. So that's one way. And the other part of that is I will pray over you. If you don't believe in prayer, I'll uplift you in positive thought. So it's a great way to, like, we need the positivity. We need the positivity. Like I said that wrong. We need the positivity. As this group, we are working hard, honey, to make these lifestyle changes. And so, sweet friends, I love you guys so much. I'm so grateful for you. If you've made it this far in the video, mwah, bless you, and I love you, and I can't wait to see you tomorrow. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others. I'm Countess of Shop, and count my blessings because life is delicious. Have a great day. Bye, guys.